Like once they got swinged.
All right, guys, so this next part. Now, if I'm in half butterfly, okay, and I've got my butterfly in, I've got my underhook, right, everything's good. But sometimes in the process of this, he realizes that this is bad, and so he backs his pressure off in order to dig this underhook and get this underhook back. So he sits up a little bit, yeah, goes here. So now it's going to be hard to make that sweep work. I don't have the underhook anymore. So we're going to do what I call the detour sweep. It's basically just a different version of the John Wayne sweep we do from standard half guard, which we use to get our underhook back. But instead of using it to get this underhook back, I'm just going to use it to sweep. So now what I'm going to do is I'm still going to check. I'm still going to lift, and I'm still going to sweep like everything is exactly the same. But what's going to happen is he's going to probably take this out in post, and he's probably going to stick this leg out in post when I go to sweep it as I start lifting. Now, guys, this can't be a fake. This is not a feint. It's not like in Thai boxing where we fake a jab and throw a right hand. Okay, it's not a fake or a feint. This is a legitimate attempt to still hit that hook sweep. I had a moment there. Had a redneck moment there. We are in Tennessee. So this is a legitimate attempt to still hit the hook sweep. I have to get that real response from him. If I'm just kind of going, I don't want him to stay flat. What I want is when he posts with everything on this side is for his body to sort of blade in like this. If he stays flat, this is not going to work. And he's only going to turn if he thinks he's actually being swept. So I start lifting and sweeping, and he blades everything off in that direction. So look, I trap this arm. This foot now comes back in and becomes a hook, and I sweep him back to the other side. My right hand goes to his armpit like a C. So I make a C clamp in his armpit, and I sweep him right back over to this side. Okay, let's go back. Do it from this angle. So he got the underhook, he got the head control. I'm still in butterfly half. I'm still going to attempt to hit my hook sweep. As I go, though, he's going to post, and he's going to post, and he's going to turn a little bit. Because what he's wanting to do, the correct response to this is what I call the avalanche pass. And the way that basically works is, when I go to sweep, you just post out. I go to sweep, he posts out with everything. Post, post, post. And he's going to switch this hip towards the mat and kill my leg and pass. So he's shucking that hook off with that hip pressure. That's what I call the avalanche pass. Because my leg is strong here. Back up for a second. It's strong here, but as I start going out here, that leg gets weak, and his hip can kill it. And that's why he's switching and blading off to the side so he can drive my leg to the floor. Does that make sense? That's what the avalanche pass does. I'm kind of wanting him to go for that. And there's a split second when he does that I'm going to be able to hit this detour sweep. I'm just switching directions. So all that's going to happen is as he goes over, his hips are going to switch just a little bit. This bottom leg is going to come up and make a hook on his thigh. This hand goes to his armpit. I block his elbow, and I just switch him to the other side. So that left foot goes to the floor. Bang. I switch him to the other side. So he comes in. This works gi, no gi. Everything's exactly the same. So we're here. He's underneath my head. I still get my butterfly in. I go to hit my sweep, and everything posts, and he sort of blades just a little bit. So I start going. Everything goes. So look, I'm going to cup his armpit. This foot is going to pull in. Even if I'm a little bit shallow here, even if it's just my shin, that's okay. I'm going to block, so I'm crimping. Look, I'm crimping. A lot of times I don't even use my foot. I just bring my knee in and my foot's on the floor, and I'm pinching. Now all I'm going to do is switch my hips. And he goes right up. I don't prefer to go straight to mount, right? I prefer to come up to my knees, right? Settle the position, and then I'll attack mount. There's reasons for that. One reason, if you're ever thinking about doing sport jiu-jitsu, if you get points for separate things, I would rather land, consolidate the position, go to mount, and get all my points. Okay? The other reason too is people are most prone to fighting mount after a sweep. It's like you get mad because you get swept and mounted at the same time, and guys try to use that momentum to hitchhike their way out of the mount. If I stop and sort of make a pit stop before I go to the next position, that's always better. So anytime you're sweeping someone, I don't advise trying to go straight to mount. A lot of times that guy's going to fight like crazy the second you get there. Because you just swept him, he's just went from top to bottom of mount. They don't like that. People don't like to be on top of you and then go immediately from top to the bottom of mount. So they fight like crazy. So I advise sweeping, pit stopping inside mount first, then progress. Okay. So one more time on the sweep. Do it from this angle again. We're butterfly half, but I messed up. He has the underhook and my head. I don't mind this at all if I have the underhook, because I can still hit this sweep like crazy. And in actuality, I can still hit the hook sweep if he doesn't defend. But a lot of times, this underhook on this side stops me because he attaches himself to my body. So I start to sweep, and he posts, and his hips are switching. So look, I just bring this knee in, and I pinch. This goes to his armpit. My shin comes in, and I'm pinching. Whatever foot I can get to the floor. If it's the outside foot, great. If it's the inside foot, great. I prefer to pinch in the backside. So your butterfly has to come out. Pinch, armpit, I crimp his elbow over here. Crimp. Switch my hips. He goes right over. Now from here I can back step. And turn to the side. Now, one last little detail I want to go over. One last little detail. If I start doing this and he posts, I didn't get a good crimp. So we're here, I go, base. I start trying to hit my sweep, but I don't get a good crimp and he posts on this backside with his hand. That's fine. That gave me the underhook back. Okay. Then from here we can start playing our game again. Okay. I can go back to different types of guards. I can try to sneak out the back door and come up. Right? So don't get too upset if the guy posts. We'll do that a different day. That's a whole nother series. Okay. Does anybody need to see the move again? Feel like we got it for the most part? Detour sweep. It's just a variation of the John Wayne. Okay? It's called that because it's simple. Okay? Like John. What? All right, guys, let's try it.